set. Okay. Going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. I believe it's right around 6:01 p.m. And we're going to go ahead and start with the invocation, which Linda has agreed to do tonight, and we'll stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, we thank you today for a beautiful city. We thank you for the opportunity to serve our citizens and make the best decisions we can for them. We thank you for the beautiful weather. We thank you, Lord, that it's not cold anymore because you know I don't like winter. We thank you, Lord, for all your blessings today and every day, and for everything that you do. We give you all the honor, the praise, and the glory. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
We're going to go ahead with roll call. We have everybody here except for Erica Miles, who is at a previous engagement that we were aware of. And before we go on to agenda approval, I know you all have looked at this, and I know you probably see that the vote on bringing the salaries of council and mayor up was not put on this agenda. And the reason for that is no amount has been discussed or decided upon by the council members. So what we'll do is at the next work session, that will be on there. That number will be on there. Joe will be able to figure out about the other little things that were discussed about where mayor's gas reimbursements or gas should be coming out of. And from that point on, we'll go ahead and go forward with the vote at the next meeting.
Oh, okay, so we don't need to like have a quick discussion on.
No, I think we can wait just until the next work session. Because we do have several months to go ahead and compare that.
Yeah. Got it.
But when we realized there was no definitive numbers, there's no point of having a public hearing or putting that out there until we know those exact numbers
Right.
that the council wants to go with, okay? Perfect. So with that being said, I am going to ask if there's a motion to approve the agenda as is.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor of approving the agenda, please raise your hand. And it's unanimous. Okay. With that, our number one priority here today is a public hearing on the proposed budget for fiscal year 2027. So I will open that public hearing now and see if there is anybody who would like to speak in favor of the proposed 2027 budget. And as there is nobody here, I assume there is nobody who would like to speak against it. And I believe that's all we need to do. We'll close the public hearing.
It'd be ideal to have a motion to open the public hearing and a motion to second and a vote and a motion to close it and a second.
And that is what we will do.
Please.
Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Is there anybody who would like to speak in favor of the budget? Is there anybody who would like to speak against the budget? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'd like to ask a quick question before, or I second it first, I'm sorry, I second it, and then I'd like to have just a quick question.
Is it for, could it be done during the new business, or is it having to pertain to the public hearing?
It pertains to the public hearing,
Okay.
and that is, in light of knowing how long it took me to get here today. I left home at 5:20. And I walked in here about 7 minutes till. So if somebody should come in and say they came for the public hearing, could we possibly reopen it if they came specifically for that?
With a motion to reopen and
Okay.
then a motion for, for a second and a motion to speak for, so on and so forth, yes.
Just
Same
in
procedures.
case. I'm not limited to the end of the meeting, but in the next 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
That's all.
So we have a motion to close the public hearing with the idea that we open it again in case there comes because of late traffic within the next 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, That closes the public hearing. Warner. We'll go on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I motion to approve the consent agenda as is.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, let's see. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, please raise your hands. It's unanimous. Thank you all. Okay, committee report. Rachel, DDA. Is there anything new?
There is nothing new for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Planning and Zoning Commission, Joe Walter. Joe, do you want to go ahead and update us on anything?
Hello, Ken.
Hello.
I'm here filling in for the legendary Joe Walter. As I look at his report, Christian Grove is still down here as active as a community project. And I did hear recently from Maxim RX's builder. They should have their drawings within the next week, so we can actually get moving there. Very excited for them and get that project moving as well. And we also have a new gas station, or not gas station, tire store. It's fully open.
They're in their place. Great.
I have a question. Are we going to do that?
Chamber does it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And one thing I would like to add here is, and it is on here about post termination of conditional use for us with the C1 zoning without the moratorium where they were temporarily at. We are sending that out, a letter to both property owners. Along with that, I am going to be in contact with the planning and zoning committee to set up for them to have a hearing themselves first. Just to make sure they're still in the loop and introduce our new planning and zoning. It would be 2 stones, 2 birds. Make sure we hit it.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And just get it back to its original use.
excellent.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Exactly.
I don't see Dana here today, so we're going to move on. And,
She did send a report.
Did she?
Didn't see it, yes.
Where'd you get it?
In the email, it was in the email,
Okay. It was on-
so we'll have it.
Okay, all right. Well, everybody take a look at that. It's very important. We're going to move on for any public comment. There is nobody in attendance today. So there will not be any public comment. We're going to move on to old business. And Jody, you want to do a little refresher?
For imminent year processing, attempted to renew or not renew, get a license for this calendar year. There was plenty of violations against our business owners. We outlined those violations inside of his denial letter. He had appealed to council where during his hearing, he came up with an epiphany that he may not need a business license for the type of work he did. Ever since then, he has not rescinded that appeal, so we still have to go through the process of actually formally doing this vote.
Okay. So with that information on hand, is there a motion about the M&M Deer Processing Business License Appeal?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to deny M&M Deer Processing's business license appeal.
Okay.
I'd say second.
Second? Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor of denying his appeal, please raise your hand. And that's 3. Okay. So it is unanimous to deny. Thank you. Going to move on to new business, and that's about the proposed budget for fiscal year 2027. And Joe, I'm going to ask you to come up and let us know about any of those changes that were made since the last time or corrected. And then council, of course, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, the floor will be open to you at that time.
So since the presentation, the only thing that was changed on here were minor corrections and not material changes. The reason for that is what was proposed. I thought it was more prudent to at least have this opportunity if council wanted to make a formal change, that it could be voted on, instead of changing the actual proposed budget. So one of the changes that was made, and this was made to the expenditure item and inside of the Public Works Department, the amount that was put in the uniforms was shifted a little bit in creation of the new line item for uniform rentals. Inside of uniform rentals, we put 1,000. Inside of uniforms, it was 475. I did have a sit down with Cintas today, who would be the uniform provider.
Oh, nice.
We underestimated a little bit there.
Okay.
So we did have a full sit down. He showed me the garments that we could rent and the ones that fit our needs. So the way that would work is it would be 11 pairs of pants, 11 shirts, and then 4 additional shirts for the fall that are a little bit more heavy duty and a little bit warmer. Later on, if we wanted to, we could add jackets and things of that nature, but we could still buy those instead of renting. After that conversation, it would be every week, they would drop off the new clothes and then take the soiled clothes and have them washed, inspected. Anything that is ripped or degraded would be replaced at no additional cost. And they would have our logos on them and names for the collar shirts. The price came in at for 3 public works crew at $6,000 a year. However, I feel that our manager would not need this uniform rental. Though he does much of the same work, it doesn't get as soiled because there is office time as well. So at least for the 2 crew members is what I would suggest if council decided to go for a uniform rental versus buying. The price is substantially better than a lot of places that I could, if we bought it ourselves for the quality of material, because this is all Carhartt and durable materials and not Badger, for instance, which is a lower cost striped shirt.
Okay.
So at that cost, it'd be around 4,000 a year instead of the 1,000 we budget.
If we were going to go up to the 4, the council decided to go up there, what would you recommend where that extra money would come from?
So there are plenty of different ways. One way would be to have what's in surplus come over. One would be where we estimated conservatively in our revenues, such as we estimated conservatively with loss and a couple of those things, and franchise fees from electric. I think we would be safe in adjusting some of those if we had to. And then additionally, we can also look at our expenditures and see if we needed to reduce other places. So it really, wherever council sees the best need, there are 3 different options right there.
Okay. So,
And then the last change was, it was reflected in expenditures in the proposal. However, in the departmentals under general government, electric still showed 55,000 instead of 40, where that other 15,000 was moved to the sewer plant specific.
Yeah. I think, coming from uniforms, Dallas, military specifically, we all wore the same uniform. I feel like it gives a sense of belonging, pride, teamwork, that sort of thing. Plus, it looks best foot forward for the city. So I really would like to see all 3 in uniform, but that's my personal preference.
I would agree with that. Because we want to put your best foot forward and professionalize our public works folks. You can't dress 2 and not the other.
And that would be 6 instead of 4.
Correct.
I agree with that thought.
And especially with the fact that they would not be responsible.
And I will make it,
Uniforms, I think that's a great benefit.
so that was all your changes now?
I want to make one comment about the Public Works. I think as the manager of Public Works, I think more collared shirts rather than the same number of, and the same exact look. Because he's going to have to be going to some meetings with the county officials and whatnot.
Right.
He needs to have some of those type of uniform type shirts to put up.
Yes.
He's going on these different meetings and whatnot. So if we can adjust a few things, as long as it's within the $6,000 budget, I think that'd be a good idea.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, everybody?
Yes,
Okay. All right,
Agree with you
so let's do that.
on
Okay,
that.
Maxine, open it up to you.
Okay, actually, I worked with Joe a little bit kind of back and forth with some thought processes based on what I was working with. and got down pretty good.
Hmm.
I'm still not where I wanted to be and thought we could be,
Mhm.
but we got real close. So I'm kind of looking at maybe hitting in the middle just a little bit and going to throw my thoughts out to you guys. And with this in mind, adding that, I think we're still fine with my thought process because looking at loss, we're on track this year for 315,000 to be coming in. And we've only got it budgeted at, what was it? There's somewhere.
Because
Except that I got my line item here marked in the wrong place. We've got budgeted 285.
Yeah.
And so I think going up even toward 3, or 295 or somewhere in that range is not out of the picture. I was going to propose that we go up to 294 and lower the mill rate, lower the taxes a tiny bit more. And I think we could still do that and the 6,000 and still lower the taxes, maybe lower the taxes to a 3.8.
so you said
Instead of
raise the
3.9.
raise the lost estimation to 294 and simultaneously lowering.
Yeah, so I would say rate.
No, she's saying raising the law to 315.
Okay, thank you.
Well, no, not to 315.
So what?
It would be, let's see, well, I had it coming up to, I'm sure I'm on the right 131, to 344.1. But,
We're at 315 right now and you're talking about bringing it up
No,
to 340.
I'm looking at the wrong one, that's the taxes,
Sorry.
293,870. And then if we add the 6 to that, that's what brings it right up almost to the 3, yeah, so right at 3.
Okay, got it.
290, it's 299,870. So maybe a little higher than I wanted to go on the loss, but I still think we're probably in good stead. And I think there's some other areas like the electricity that if we had to mid-year, we could make a budget transfer if we weren't having enough funding coming in there.
Yeah.
But I don't see spending for the general public changing that much with the taxes for this year coming up. So, and then of course the 900 for the mayor's allowance. What I had done, I had not taken that out of the salaries. I just left it in there, thought, okay, 900 is not that much, and I had just added that to my total.
So the total difference in income that you're looking at is $8,870.
Let's see, we would go from 352,070. Tax to 344,100.
$7,970 difference. And then if you took the $6,000 out of that for the 5 additional 5 for the equipment, the uniforms, that brings it down to 2,920. And Maxine had shared this with me beforehand, and I am not in favor of doing that. I'm in favor of leaving it at
Well, no, I shared with you going down to 3.7.
3.6. Yeah. I'm not in favor of doing that or the 3.8, and this is the reasoning why. Right now, it's a very volatile economy. We don't know exactly what's happening with gas. We don't know what's happening with wars. We don't know what's going to happen in the future with property taxes. We don't know what's going to happen with a lot of things and some of the mandates that are being brought down from the states. It's concerning to me that this year we are finally going to have all the little kinks worked out of the system that we've been handed and have finally discovered. And we haven't had one whole year yet of being able to be spot on with forecasting, which is concerning. And a $8,000 difference divided by over 1,500 people, or actually a $7,000, almost $8,000 difference divided over 1,500 plus citizens or however many households we have. I don't think it's a, do I like the idea of always lowering taxes down as far as we can possibly go? Absolutely. But in looking to the future and being conservative, it is concerning to me that we may cut it that close with the budget. And may find ourselves in a sticky situation with something. I also believe that in the future, I mean, we've already lowered it once. This year, we're anticipating being able to lower it again and not just roll back. And then if we find that in the next fiscal year that we're able to roll back again, I think that's a great path to be on, rather than rolling back a little bit too far and then having to say to our constituents, well, we've got to go ahead and bring it back up again, even if it's just because the state has made different things with property taxes.
Right.
I think being a little conservative in this environment is a better way to go. And that's just how I feel about it.
Let me ask Joe one question. Something I noticed in our financials this month. The bottom line that's showing for the budget amount versus what we've spent is not showing up to our budget amount. Do we know exactly what? Yeah, when I multiplied the numbers back out for the through May, take the total divided by 11 times 12, and it's not coming out to our full amount of budget. And I just noticed that this afternoon because that makes us actually a little more ahead on the income and a little more ahead on the expenses. If we're just using those numbers to look at the bottom line. And I don't know if it's been that way before. I didn't have time to look at like previous months to see. So if you take the total expenses, well, I can go to the not the actuals, 1,072,316 dollars, and you divide by 11 and then multiply by 12, that should come up with our budget amount. And it comes up to 1,108,000 instead of 1,208,000. And then on the expenses, it comes up with a little different number. Instead of coming up with our 1,208,000 that it's supposed to be, it comes up to, let me find where I wrote the expenses down. 1,078,120. But what it amounts to is current actual. We're about $130,000 under budget on expenses, which is a good thing. And we're, once we subtract the loss, I mean, the loss that shows up on the financials, I did pull that out. We're about 13,000 over on the income. So we're not way over on the income, but we've got lots to go.
So as I was, at the same time, we've been trying to get our actuals where they're supposed to be. That's where it came to the
That's
issue.
what I figured.
As far as us being over for the revenues, a lot of that has to do with some of the stuff we discussed. And we kind of had an anomaly year in some areas, like electricity was way over what we thought it was. Well, not way over, but it was over. Most of our franchise fees were over what we thought. We did a fee schedule adjustment, and that helped out a lot to cover some of those expenditures. Because prior to changing some things, we were paying a lot of inspection fees or zoning administrator, a lot of these things that come together for permitting, we were forking a lot of that straight from us instead of it being a net neutral relationship. Continuing then, I know we did better in loss this year than I think a big portion of our revenue that was up higher was that loss. This would have to be a line item by line item for a full answer. But as far as expenditures, well, I know there was some things we wanted to get done that we didn't. For instance, the public works buildings, things like that. So some of the spending didn't get exactly where we were hoping to get some of those things done.
Okay,
And
fair enough.
right, and that's just what accounts for some of that.
Okay. Yeah, and I figured the totals is, I know y'all are working with the county on some of the weird stuff that was in the original setup with the QuickBooks, that we're still trying to figure out how to land it correctly.
It's always.
So I figured it had something to do with that.
Yeah, and when we close it out, there'll be.
But I did just want to make that point that because if the other council is looking at those bottom lines, as their comparison, and the percentages, they might be slightly off from what reality is.
And I'll add just one for, our, one of our insurance line items, that just went out this month, so it may not reflect it.
Okay.
And that was 31,000.
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
budget today.
So that will be a part of that over 100,000. That's probably one of our biggest line items for a single purchase.
Right.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we've got laws coming in for about 26 or so. Okay, so I mean, that was just some of what I looked at with my considerations.
Give any other.
No, that was it. That was really the only consideration I looked at, and wanted to throw it out there for council if they had questions and just to think about.
Okay, so I don't think we're proposing any except for the only change we're proposing is is there a motion to, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask for a motion. Are there any changes? Is there a motion to make any changes or to move forward with the proposed budget?
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the budget for fiscal year 2027 as presented.
Maxine, you've got a look on your face.
Okay,
We're not voting on the budget. We're voting on any changes.
okay, so
Don't we need to make that?
we're voting on a proposed budget.
Oh, I'm sorry, so I do need,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I need to
Yeah.
amend my motion. I make a motion that we approve this year's budget with the following changes.
Well, we have to say.
This proposed budget. That we move forward, not approve it, right? Yeah.
Well, no,
How do I word my motion to?
Well, we just can't approve a budget tonight. Let's make sure we avoid that.
All
do
right,
we
so-
even need a motion tonight, or can we wait till we
You-
get?
You can discuss changes and you can make changes to the budget, but you cannot vote to approve a budget.
Right,
So if you want to put changes
So-
out there that can be discussed and voted on, both tonight, but then voted on to approve the full budget
So-
later.
All right,
okay,
so
We
we're,
make changes to the proposed budget. Is that-
so we're like, proposing,
to change the.
yes,
allotment.
to change line item 31,
Yes.
30,
That's what I.
3,100
Yep. The,
from,
I will say that,
okay, I'm just following what it meant.
uh,
Right. 1,000 to 6,000, right? Is that the number that, or we're in the general line item?
We're in the income. We have to, the income has to
Yeah.
match the expenses. So I was on the income line item first, because that's where we would come up with the money, correct?
Maxine, you go ahead and make this motion on with you.
No, I'm just trying to get clarity so we.
Oh, no, I'm not being.
Yeah, no, we're not being earnest, because
How do you think, where you're bringing the money from?
Right. I mean, maybe it is easier to go from the expenses, but I do want to clarify the 900 for the mayor's gas allowance. Did we get an answer on that?
not yet.
So we'll need to do that within the other budget. Okay.
And respectfully, I think that's why you don't necessarily need a motion to move on from this item tonight.
Okay,
I think this is put your changes out there, and then when you come back to discuss, when you vote to approve, it'd be I vote to approve the budget with X in or X out in terms of changes, and then it's either
Right.
rejected with a new motion or so on.
thank you. All right. so
Yeah,
we don't-
see, that's what I was thinking. I had brought what, if it were the 18th.
So we don't need to vote out.
So we're gonna move forward with making these changes to the uniform budget, please. We're gonna make the change to the 900 if you get the full answer that we're looking for. If you feel that we need to do that now. we could wait, but if you get it, then we'll move forward and the guys are right here.
With the 900, Joe, you can literally move that out of salary.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
Rather than increasing. I had increased it.
there's a couple of other spots that it could.
Right.
Joe, go ahead and handle those changes that were discussed.
Get us the uniform.
As long as where the money is coming from, then I'm all okay with taking it from the reserves or from the surplus from this year. And then if you would, just go ahead and present that to council before the next vote, the vote, so that everybody is aware of what it is and we can make a motion fully, including all those things. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Is there any other comments or questions or?
I'd like to know where the disco ball's going. Is that in the budget? Right over here, disco ball for the budget. Anything else, Maxine?
No, I was just gonna say, if we turn up something else, then we would probably need to look down at, pulling on the fund bed transfer, but then if we were to do something like that, I would recommend that we, apply to the sign versus something that's a normal budget item.
Okay.
If somebody looks at
I
that.
remember we talked about it. Okay.
Uh, Right, since that's a one-time purchase.
So there will be no vote, no motion tonight about the budget. We
Right.
will just move.
Joe, make the changes, send it
Discuss
to
the
us,
changes.
and then if we have any,
Okay.
maybe we can iron it out by email what we want next.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Everybody's ready? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to reports and public works and whatnot. Is there anything from Brad tonight?
After it's more.
Okay.
I'm not ready. They are completely busy now with grass.
Mhm.
We got a little bit of rain, but it's definitely helped the grass shoot up. That's helped. So as you know, this is their busiest season of that, and also trying to keep up with any other taskers. So projects that usually get put on hold right now. But I would like to report that they are fully staffed. We did bring in another crew member, Mason Brown. He's a great guy. Hopefully get him in here next work session. They're looking good.
Yeah, I waved at him like a. He was out at the roundabout. He's like,
I did too, and they're like. But we actually haven't met Brad either. I haven't.
You
I went by,
I mean,
I went by Public Works right after he started. That's the only time I ran into him.
I'll make him come to the next work session.
What was the name of the new employee?
Mason Brown.
Mason.
Nathan
Mason,
Mason.
Mason,
Mason.
Mason.
And they're
That's
doing,
what I heard the first time, then the second time I heard Nathan, so I'm like,
they're doing a great job too. I came to the Public Works building or municipal building today.
I wonder if they did the corner down at my street.
They did.
It looks great.
Very good.
I thought AT&T did do that.
Yeah. They
And the neighbor that owns the property did do that.
No, they did very
It was a better chunk than either one of those.
I have given,
No offense, Karen.
I've given Brad a map of the city about what is our responsibilities and I had left that off.
Yeah.
So.
And with them working down there, she's scared to death to go out there around all those wires and stuff and cut it.
Okay, Lynn, city clerk report, please.
I'm gonna do the citations first. So we had, 4 for Walton County, and that was all. Pavilion rentals, we had 3. And, the baseball field, we had 26.
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm a huge fan of our, baseball field rentals. I'm so proud that we put those lights out there.
Yeah, we just had another guy
Kids,
book July to November, and I
fantastic.
came and paid yesterday.
Now, I was thinking about the budget that everybody's paying in advance. That doesn't help us for the next year's budget. And I thought, wait a minute, they'll do the same thing next year.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, those coaches are great. Okay, general operating account, we have $561,825.78. Sewer operating account, $9,830.60. Splosh, 2019, $947,934.99. Money market is $1,466,512.10. DDA account, $89,785,023. And the new sewer money market account, $500,824.96. LAS expansion, $206,052.14. And then SPOS 2025, $343,939.78.
Thank you, Lynn. Code enforcement. Rick's had a few wins lately.
As you know, I'm not great.
Yeah.
Um,
Way more here.
I don't have as much to say. So let me know. There's committee reports that we can print out from code enforcement. They're working on different things, and y'all do have a copy of this. If you don't like this one. For the last month, these were the various items that warranted more than a conversation. So out of these items, trees and limbs in the right of way, this was a longer standing problem that should have been. We did get it handled. We had a resident who trimmed some limbs and stuff, put it inside the right of way. And that is not where that.
Good.
Clean this up.
They
I said they cleaned this up.
They did.
we had I was very surprised not to get a call about this. We had a tree fall in Steve's yard out here. I'm not sure how long it was down,
Fell where?
but right out here in Park Street.
Oh, okay.
Greg sent a letter and within a day, they were out there getting it up. It was a rental property and the owners were very proactive in getting it out there. We did have one complaint. This is also in my report. It was a neighbor complaint regarding 3 to 4 foot tall grass and vegetation in someone's backyard, leading to snakes in the neighbor's yard. And Greg's getting that handled currently.
Good.
Is that one of the properties with a lot of stuff on it and the actual owners are getting that cleaned up now?
Correct.
Great.
Now we'll move on to my report, which is my favorite part of today, because I can talk. So formal complaints, we had 3, open records request only 1, and permits issued that were already, there were about 5. So projects and tasks, we have 2 members representing us going to the conference this year. Hopefully bringing a lot of education back and staying out of trouble. We're going to be working on executing the paving plan, as long as nothing changes inside of the CIP, when we go to vote on that, because that will also be a vote with our budget. We do have a function at iWork where we can track that better. We just haven't set it up yet. So that's at no extra cost. We have a paving schedule. Walton County Sheriff's Department did request us to draft some ordinances that they can enforce a little bit better with this park, mostly regarding parking. Right now, they don't have any enforceability with some of our parking violations and things of that nature. So I'm going to work with them a little bit and get something to council very soon.
That's perfect.
Almost still the mayor's thunder on this about a quarterly newsletter that she scoped out and found. We have the America 250 celebration coming up very soon. I'm not the best party planner, so I'm also considered mayor. She pizzazz that up a little better than me. Corrections to billing issues, those have been completed. And these bills should be a lot better. If not, I'm going to go on vacation.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know. And you also are mailing out a letter.
Correct, and those have been fully printed. Sonia did that for about 4 hours.
Labels was
Oh,
coming
thank
today.
God.
So we got all that done, and they'll be going out in the morning. Student employees, so we conducted 2 interviews. It works out very well. They were both very professional. They both had different skills, clerical based versus social media based. And as I was explaining before, Macy was an anomaly. We had she had an open schedule. That's very rare. And her work ability was kind of unmatched. But now we'll have back to the normal routine with student employees. We'll have 2 but they won't have as many hours as Macy did. Because their availability is also different, sports and clubs and things of that nature. Those turnovers will start in July with Macy, so put that on here as well. As you know, we have the fiscal year 27 budget coming up. Good about that. Sewer expansion, we're gonna have a production meeting in a couple weeks. And that's gonna involve Joe Walter, the project manager, Brad, myself, and any elected official who would like to be there. Just to see where, or what's, basically talk through what's left. We know what's left, based off the contract. However, we want to see if there's any foreseeable issues with that as we get closer and closer to this being finished. Along with that, I asked Joe to have a day where he's available for a little bit longer term. That way we can talk sewer policy and get that coming forward too. That way it does not affect our, what we put in there for the budget.
Okay.
A lot of what's going to happen after the budget is going to be a very busy time. We're going to be doing a lot more than I think we've ever done. And that's going to include a lot of planning, a lot of execution of contracts to get these roads paved, stormwater corrected, a lot of the things that we put in the budget just to execute them. So I asked to be patient with staff if they're not the quickest to respond. Those are going to be a lot of time consuming projects. We're going to get them done.
Good.
And we submitted our LRA today to get more money from the state to pave more roads. So hopefully that'll be coming in. That should be about $27,000.
Did we finally conflict?
No, so we're reviewing the bond.
Okay, thank you.
I spoke to Jay about that today. The bond was sectioned up with their 4 phases. And I do believe there's 2 bonds still active. So the last steps with that would essentially be to contact their attorney again. If she tells us she can't get a hold of them, we're gonna go through the process to call the bond.
Fantastic. Thank you.
For formal complaints, we talked about the neighborhood, the grass. We had a citizen complaint about Public Works mowing the right of way at 5 a.m. It was unsubstantiated.
Unless there's something new, I don't have anybody
That
working.
didn't
on it.
happen.
It didn't, from the complaint that we got and the description of the person, it was not a Walnut Grove employee. Most likely, there was a chance they were with GDOT, they were moving right away before traffic came. And we do not control GDOT. So. And then the last one was a citizen complaint regarding the missing colors at the roundabout, and the flag is going to be replaced.
It has already been replaced.
Yes, that's. Upcoming, what I want everyone to have an idea on, lots of training as it becomes available, safety officer training, stormwater certification. That's going to save us a lot of travel costs when it comes to post-rain events and things like that, if we can do it in-house. And municipal court annual training, getting Lynn certified as a city clerk. That way she can frame something, put it in her office.
We become official.
So that's a lot of what's upcoming that hasn't been on good work. The last thing, I added permits, so that way if anyone wants to yell at me for issuing a permit, you got a chance. It's not secret anymore. So we did issue a sign permit for the Grove community to point people in that direction where that's going to be. Pipeline is being maintenance on right now, and there's 2 electrical permits issued there. An electrical safety permit issued as well. And last one was the lot line combination. So a lot more permits coming soon. Economic development.
Yes, yes, we're working.
All right, my turn, very brief. Joe, myself, Brad, and Lynn met about the municipal building. And we're hoping in the next 2 weeks to be ready to open it up, at least no later than July 1st for rentals. And hopefully we'll have the same success with this building that we've had with the putting the lights up for the ball field. We'll be creating a lock system in here that we can have a master lock for some staff members. And if somebody's coming to rent, they'll get a front door key with access to the kitchen and the restrooms. We'll make sure that we are fully compliant with the fire marshal. We have a couple of little things that Brad is going to be working on, and then we'll get a reinspection so that we are compliant. But
Does that sound system lock up?
yeah, it can lock with that key right
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah, I checked that out the other day.
Right.
Yes, and we're also going to be looking at getting a cabinet under here for that equipment. so that it gets locked up also.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We're getting prepared for that with some extra tables. We've got the new fridge because it's working now, and we have some round tables. We're gonna be coming in here, cleaning up a few buildings or a few of the rooms and making it user-friendly for anybody who wants to rent it. With this little effect on our stuff. And Sonya's office will be locked up, and that front window will get a locking mechanism on it that can only be opened from the inside. So nobody will be able to get in there. I'm glad you brought up the LRA, you brought up the employees. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but I'm not gonna keep everybody because we're almost within 50 minutes and I think that's great. One thing I did want to let you all know, because somebody did ask me about it this week. The Reliant Homes subdivision build has been put on hold just for a little bit. There's EPD extra requirements that they had to get taken care of. They asked for an extension on their land disturbance permit. In our ordinances, I am allowed to go ahead and make that extension for, I think, 45 days, wasn't it? 3 more months through August.
3 months.
3 months, yeah. And so we granted that. And they will be starting to develop our building in August. So I just wanted to let you all know where we are with that.
And I have no problem with extensions when it's the result of something like.
Yeah.
EPD that's
Yeah,
creating. the
and they did have a lot of new stuff coming through this
Is it
year.
because
So.
of the
It's
Yeah.
Creek Crossing.
What?
Creek Crossing.
creek? Oh, yeah.
So that was really it.
Good.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, fantastic.
So
Great.
we have no other, we don't have executive session planned tonight unless there's something that popped up I'm not aware of. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open up town hall. Anything? Nobody? Council comments. You guys have any comments you want to make tonight?
Just, it's been a sad 2 days for me.
No, you and your dog.
No, well, the doggy too, but the blackbird ate the bluebirds.
Okay.
And the brown, I was all excited. I had a nest with, wait a minute, brown-headed cowbirds. They put their eggs in the bluebird nest.
Yeah.
So the bluebird hatched them. So I was all excited about that, had cameras on them to watch them. But instead I got to watch the blackbird stick his head in and steal the babies.
Oh, no. Oh, good. Okay.
But I fixed that, it won't happen again. They're already building a new nest. So, my fun stuff for the people.
Linda, do you have anything? I just don't.
Well, our church is doing Bible school this week, so I'm busy with that.
All right.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what I was about to say.
Great job.
It's VBS season, baby. Get your kids to church.
Get your
If you
kids to
wanna
church.
Go home and love your family. That's all from Rachel.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn
Maxine,
tonight's meeting.
is there a second?
Sure.